hell is Tyler? Dude, come on, Tyler. It's dark out here. How'd you go? Hi there. Come on, man. Where are you? Oh, shit. See? This way, maybe? What's that? Tyler? What the fuck's this flashlight doing here? Tyler? Where are you, dude? Hey, you out here? Come on, this isn't funny. What? The fuck? Tyler! Hey! Oh shit. Hey, Tyler! You alright, dude? A lot of blood and shit back there. Oh my god! Tyler! Dude! Oh shit.
Tonight, we watch Sunshine.
Alright, so tonight we just watched movie number 1 of our 31 movie horror marathon thing. Tonight's movie was Sunshine.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. He's gonna go get the box to show you. But I'll start and just give you a somewhat synopsis while he's doing that. Sunshine, like most of the movies we watched this month, is a movie that was actually recommended to me. It is, as I now know, a sci-fi movie starring Captain America, a guy that looks exactly like the All-American Rejects singer, and a bunch of other people that are really kind of non-consequential.
It's blue.
So, let's get into it. First off, what'd you think acting?
Acting was great. My God, can Chris Evans shiver?
Yeah, he is,
Every scene he had was, somehow he got cold.
he's also good at, well, maybe not, I don't know. They tried to portray him as the bad guy, or kind of, not maybe the bad guy, but...
The anti-hero, maybe?
Yeah, anti-hero
he was a good
would actually
guy,
be the apt description.
But I didn't hate him.
No.
You didn't hate him because you knew exactly why he was saying the things
Yeah.
he said. And
Yeah, it made sense.
everything. The rest of the movie didn't make sense. Chris Evans made sense.
Yeah. Well, we'll get there. Actually, before we go any further, too, I want to explain the reason we're outside right now is we actually, and you actually would have known this if you watched the trailer anyway, but we watched this all outside on a projector. So we're actually out in the yard right near where we were just projecting it. That's my car in the background full of projector and other equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, back to the thing. So
The acting was good.
yeah,
No
I would
complaints
agree.
there.
Acting definitely, everyone I think did a great job, portrayed their characters. It was actually believable.
Diverse cast, not so much racial. I mean, it was racially diverse, but more of a
Character-wise,
Like character-wise,
yeah.
it just
Different
wasn't all
personalities
white.
and-
Yeah. I like that.
Okay, so the next effects.
Great.
I mean, this was a more recent movie, so it held up a little better than some of the ones I've watched, like
Did
in
it say?
the
I think it
previous
said
years.
2007.
So a lot more recent than like The Birds, The Blob, some of the other ones I've watched. I agree, the effects in this were astounding. It was very visually pleasing, as is true with a lot of sci-fi movies.
Would we get? Could I get into one pickup? I mean, it wouldn't be so much about a special effects wise thing, but the editing, the way they blurred everything out, like whenever you got to the good action bits.
Yeah, there was
everything
a lot of
went
like
blurry,
motion
not
blur
shaky camera,
and...
but just lots of blur,
yeah.
like cutting away and blurring things. I'm like, no.
Yeah. Okay, now, next we'll go into the big one, the story. Before we do, I want to point out, I don't normally watch sci-fi movies. It's really not my thing. I'm not good at the suspension of disbelief. And that was especially evident to him moments ago, because I know I was talking through at least the whole second half of the movie. The story here, and you'll probably agree, giant glaring plot holes.
Yeah.
Even if
Most-
you're a sci-fi person, there are things that they even kind of point out that just blatantly wrong. The one, and if I don't mention it now, I'm sure you will anyway. They mention they're in a rocket ship. There's a big shield keeping them safe from the sun, and at one point they're going to separate and shoot off after they launch a bomb at the sun for reasons. And when they shoot off, they're supposed to be safe and return back to Earth. However, they show, even in their own demonstration of this, they're shooting off the shield. So during the movie, you see anything that passes outside the range of the shield instantly is fried by the sun. I mean, metal, people, everything. So I don't understand how a return trip was ever in the plan, because as soon as that shield was gone, flash fried, they would have been disintegrated. And at the end, that happened. So I don't know how it could have ended any other way.
There was like the front of the ship after they detached was kind of gold plated, but it was nowhere near as big as the bomb was to shield the ship
Yeah.
to be able to survive.
No, I don't.
So yeah, huge plot holes. Chris Evans, reaches his hand into the coolant for a half a second and gets that nasty, burn, and then he's in there for 5 minutes and he shivers.
Yeah. And then comes out and crawls back in twice more.
Yeah, so plot holes galore. Most of the time I can ignore
Yeah.
plot holes, but this one was just so...
Also, too, the one,
Ugh.
the bad guy in the other ship. And by the way, these are going to be filled with spoilers, because that's what you read my reviews for.
These are old movies.
That's
These aren't
how they
new
were
movies.
in the past 2 years. That's what it's going to be here.
Yeah.
You all knew what to expect. The only difference is it's video this time. Aren't I pretty? But yeah, the other one I would say is the bad guy on the other ship there. They mentioned how the ship only had X amount of years of food and that they would have ran out years ago. And in the end, there's a bad guy who was apparently alive on there. And I don't know how, because A, there was no food, and B, the whole thing's covered in dust everywhere in every room, just dust everywhere. Yet somehow this man manages to traverse through the ship, which, by the way, still has gravity, even though the systems have failed and turned off. They never explained how the generating gravity thing worked either, and that annoys me. But he lived in this ship, traversed without disturbing or moving the dust, leaving footprints, and then snuck onto the ship behind the 4 people that had just entered. No one noticed. That all just... It doesn't add up to me. There's a lot of plot holes. There's a lot of issues here. So the storyline may have been okay, but I don't know. And again, it could just be me and my dislike of sci-fi movies, and this is why I
It
dislike
was a
them.
bad one.
But yeah, it was not great.
I wouldn't even call it... What? Would I... Could you... I wouldn't really call it sci-fi.
Well, I mean, it is, but
Just because it's in space, I don't think it counts. It's just... I don't know.
But anyway, like I said, this was recommended. I actually probably wouldn't have put this on a horror list had I seen it prior. It does have some bits, more in the second half of the movie, that there is some suspense, a little bit of horror. There is a bad guy, but it's not what you'd expect in a typical horror movie, so not really.
In no way, shape, or form did I feel for the characters. Everything went too quickly for me to feel any connection, so that when
Yeah.
things started happening, I didn't care.
Yeah, there wasn't
There was no...
real backstory.
I didn't find it suspenseful at all with the way the editing was done and the blur. I couldn't even follow what was happening, so I didn't feel any real terror or horror or suspense. It was just...
Yeah. Meh.
Like you said earlier, 1 down, 30 to go. We got plenty more movies to review.
Yeah. Okay, well then, overall thoughts, how would you rate it? Like, 1 to 10, 1 being absolute crap, like Signs, 10 being Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes, I know that's pretty high to put a movie that recent, but it was good.
I would put this in the contention for one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Really, that bad?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd give it like maybe 3 out of 10 only because it was a good looking movie.
Mhm.
That was it.
I'd say, for me, probably around a 4, mostly the same reason. I mean, the acting was still good. It still looked, it was visually pleasing. If you really just turn your brain off and try not to think about any of the science or anything, you won't necessarily be bored. But, I mean, it's not great by any means. I wouldn't even say average. So, this one,
Yes,
I can't necessarily recommend
Yeah, Danny Boyle directed this. He's the guy that did 28 Days Later. He also he was the guy that came up with the whole London Olympics. Go figure, he would make a crappy movie. He did Slumdog Millionaire, didn't he? He did 120, what was that one with... The guy saws his arm off after he gets chopped in 127 hours
yeah, the
or something
documentary
like
about that dude. Yep.
that. Yeah, he's making all these good movies, and this one is pure
Crap.
garbage.
I think
Pure
most of
garbage.
those came after this, though.
Yes,
So
yeah.
everyone needs a starting off point. So, okay, there you go. Last question. Scary.
No.
Agreed. I haven't had one yet that is, but definitely this one is not.
Very, very little suspense. No scary horror moments in it at all.
All right, well, there you go. Like you said, 1 down, 30 to go. Hope to see you tomorrow.
Stick around, it's going to get better.
See ya.
Believe me, we're at the bottom. It's only going to get better. Dean! Wait! Dean! 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 Where'd you go, Dean?